I just want to say that a lot of my shtick is about being Scottish, which is much more unique selling point usually, but not so much tonight. So, yes, I come from Scotland, and as you've just heard, my name is Scott, and a lot of Kiwis find that fucking hilarious. Honestly, it'd be less annoying if they didn't repeat it back to me as if they were Sherlock Holmes solving a mystery. Wait, so you're Scott, from Scotland? Excellent deduction, Mr. Holmes. To be fair, it's pretty good being Scottish in New Zealand. People, for example, seem to enjoy the accent, seem to find it charming. Not everybody though, not everybody. As I recently discovered in my work, I was taking a customer call, and I just want to clarify something before I go into this story. I just want to preface that I do not use this football hooligan voice on customer calls. I use my best BBC voice. So I did that. Good morning, Scott speaking. How can I help? Nothing. Silence on the other end. I was like, maybe they didn't quite understand what I was saying, because sometimes that does happen. So kick it up a notch from BBC voice to full-blown Shakespearean actor. Good morning, Scott speaking. How can I help? Still nothing. Silence. I was like, fuck, it's got to be a bad connection, right? They can't even not understand that. But then, just as I thought, right, I'll do it one more time, and then if they don't answer, I'll hang up. But before I had finished that thought, they said the following. Hello? Can I speak to a Kiwi? Now, I was actively offended, probably about as offended as you are at that attempt at an accent. But as I was having that thought, they followed it up. I was, boiling in my offence. I was thinking, I've got to come back to this. But they come back to me straight away and said, like a New Zealander. And at that, I was like, that's actually fucking amazing. I am no longer offended. I'm impressed. That's ninja shit, to hit me with xenophobia and then sweep me under by implying I'm an idiot. But I'm a consummate professional. I just said to the person, is you sure you can't? I can't help you. No, I can't. And I just transferred them on to my manager, who comes from Manchester. So at this point in the set, I do want to just point something out real quickly in case anybody is concerned. I know I do look like a YouTuber who is still ranting about female Ghostbusters in The Last Jedi. But I'm not actually that man. I do, however, have a podcast, as all straight men in their 30s are required to have. While talking about my looks, I don't want to brag, but sometimes people come up to me and go like, you look famous, I've got a recognisable face. They come up to me and, say that I look like, people like Borat, Blackadder, Mr. Bean, none of which is great for my ego, to be honest. Nobody has ever turned round to their partner and been like, what really turns me on when you do that Mr. Bean thing. So you'll all be shocked and surprised to find out that I am single. I was in a relationship for about 8 years, but became single early on in the year. And I made the decision to dive back into the hellscape that is dating apps. But I've returned with a policy of radical honesty. So the dating profile will read, Scott, 40, seeking female. Previous history of clinical depression. Current history of OCD and anxiety. Fears include spiders, heights, germs, poisoning, fear itself. Other illnesses include IBS, acid reflux, an overactive bladder, a type of dermatitis I've not learned how to pronounce yet. And it gets better, occasional erectile dysfunction. However, I am still better than most men because I have great cultural taste. I am always punctual, and I will actually listen to what you've got to say. Thank you.